Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how you can install the Python environment to be able to run the Hillshade Converter script that's available via our website or from GitHub. We've made it open source, so help yourself. It's an alternative to using QGIS for generating Mbtiles files. QGIS is a fantastic product. Really recommend getting your teeth into that one. There are other videos that will cover using that. QGIS can generate our Mbtiles file. They can be loaded into DetectLogPro. One of the issues I did have was the way QGIS grabs tiles wasn't as clean as what we've produced here. But what I did was I needed a tool, so we wrote a quick script that would take a TIFF file from the Department of Environment, DEFRA site, and at a couple of button clicks produce an Mbtiles file for you, and it'll also help put you a PNG image of the LIDar tile as well, so you can send to friends, etc., because they are quite good. The tool itself, which we'll show you, allows you to adjust the angle of the sun, the height of it, the Z factors and things like that, stuff you generally want to do with LIDar. It's a little standalone tool. Hopefully this is not too daunting, but the first thing we need to do is we need to get ourselves a copy of Miniconda, which will bring down the Python environment. It will bring down the gdal tools you'll need for the script to work, and it will set you up in a little runtime. So we'll go through that now. Might seem a bit daunting. You might want to get somebody who is computer literate to help you with this one, but hopefully this video will help you achieve that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to a browser. I'll go to Edge. If I click on that, hopefully is it running? There it is. It's a little bit slow, this machine. It's a virtual machine running on a Macintosh, so it won't be the fastest thing on the planet. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in here Miniconda. Oops, my keyboard's woken up. There we go. Miniconda download. I'll put the links below in the video if I remember. Okay, it's finally loaded up the search tool, the search engine. The site you want is Anaconda's site. That's where this particular product's made. So we click on the installing Anaconda. We'll whiz over to the. Okay, so we've now landed at the installation steps for Miniconda. There's a nice little helpful video. It's probably better than this one. Shows you what to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to this Anaconda download link. And we'll land at this stage, this screen. You will now need to click on the Get Started one, enter your user ID, create a password, etc. As I'm a returning user, I'm going to click on this link. Okay, so having now signed into Anaconda, I did that in the little background there because I didn't want you to see my email addresses and etc. passwords. I can now choose my download. I'm going to choose, there's the choice between the full Anaconda distribution. If you're really keen, you can do that. But what we actually need is Miniconda. So we'll click on the download the Windows 64-bit, in this case, graphical installer. If you're running on an old Windows machine, you might need a different version if they offer it. And it's now downloading Miniconda 3. And hopefully in a second or two, there we go, it's now downloaded. So now I can open that file. With a bit of luck, it's opening it. There we go. So this is now the Miniconda setup. So we are now going to click on the next button. We'll agree. A quick read. There you go, red. Agree. I'm going to install it just for me, but you can also, if you've got Your machine's probably your machine. Does it really matter? You could choose either one of those. I'll let you choose, but the easy one is this just for me. I'm going to accept the install address, and now I'm going to pick these. I check these all off because I haven't, unless you've already got, if you've already got Python down and you use it for other things, you don't want to choose that. But I haven't, so I'm just going to use Miniconda to get the complete package down. I'm also going to use Miniconda to make it my default Python on this particular machine. Again, that's for you to choose, and I will tidy up after me as well. So we'll click on install, and that will now whiz through. Okay, that took quite a while, but it's now completed the install. So I'm now going to click on the next on there, and we will, I'm not particularly bothered about that. I'll finish all that. Right, so we've now installed Miniconda. So the next step is installing the gdal libraries. So to do that, we are going to click on the start button here, and I'm going to click on the Anaconda prompt, not the PowerShell one. PowerShell and the command prompts, subtly different command languages. This is the old-fashioned one. So this is the one we will now use. There we go. We have now got the command prompt. So the next thing we now need to do is install gdal. And to do that, I'm going to type in the word conda, and a space, then create, then -n gdalenv Python equals 3.11. It's the version of Python I'm pulling down, and then space gdal. And then we will hit enter. With a bit of luck, I'll type that all correctly. I'll put that in the links below. And the next thing it's now going to do is ask me to accept things. So I'll click on there and I'll accept the terms, accept all those. And now it's going to get on and install them all. I'm going to pause there for a minute and come back when this is finished. That's it. It's now installed. Got a Control Z where I was trying to unpause the video. So we're now in a position where we can now create the Conda, or actually activate the Conda environment. And to do that, I'm at the root directory here at the moment, my root directory. You might want to have moved into another folder before you do this, but I'm doing the easy way, really. So I'm now going to type in Conda activate gdalenv. And if I've done it right, it should change the prompt from the word base to something else. So let's wait and see whether that happens. There we go. That's brilliant. So we're now actually, you can see down here on the left-hand side, it says gdal environment. So I'm now actually in the gdal environment. And to prove it works, we're going to do a quick test to see whether we've got gdal, which is gdal info minus version. And if I type enter there, bingo, I've got gdal version 3.11.4 installed. So I now know I've got gdal. I'll now test that I've got Python. So I'm gonna. You don't have to do this, by the way, but it's just me showing you what you can do. So -c, and we're going to do from OSGEO, which is one of the libraries, import gdal, semicolon, and then print. This is Python language. Oops, in there, and then we go gdal dot version info, close brackets, and we will hit close the quotes and hit enter. And if that runs, okay, we will soon, there we go, bingo. So we ran that little bit of a Python script. So we've got an environment now that has got it's got the Python installed, brilliant. It's got gdal installed, which is the libraries that do all the crunching of the LIDAR for us. And the next thing we've got to do is go and install the Hillshade Python file, which we'll do next. Okay, so we've got gdal, Conda all installed. We're now going to go and get the Hillshade Converter software from PageTech. So I am going to just shrink that window for a minute, and I'm going to go over here and type in page. I can only type my own name, pagetech.co.uk. Go over here, and under products, if you go to Hillshade Converter, coming soon, that'll change hopefully shortly, and click on the viewing GitHub. It will take us over to GitHub. There we go. And this is the software. The bit you now want to do is click on the code button there when this website finishes loading, and download the zip file. Okay, and then we will open that zip file. Yeah, and I want to move that to somewhere sensible. I'm going to put it on my, let's have a look, where should we go? I will put it onto, I'll put it onto my desktop for the time being. So I'm going to take it out of there. Hopefully I've now got, in the desktop, I've got the software, and the bit we're going to run in a minute is this Hillshade Converter _.py, the Python file. Okay, before we test to see whether the Python environment can launch the Hillshade Converter, what I'm going to do next is go and download some tiles, LIDAR tiles. You can get those from environment.data.gov.uk/survey. You'll see the screen like this, and if we zoom in, right. Don't have to go too big, but there we go. So I want to get this tile here. So what I'm going to do is click on the draw polygon. I'm going to draw three points, double click on the last one. That creates the polygon, and then I click on get available tiles. I'm going to accept all these. You can have a look. There's different flavors of LIDAR if you want. So I'm going to download that, and that will pull down to this machine, hopefully. And there we go, we've downloaded the LIDAR composite. So I'm going to just go and have a look at that now. If we open that up and have a look what's in there. Oh, I've opened 2 copies. Right. And what we've got in here is we've got these files here. This is what's in the zip file. And the one we're actually interested in is going to be the big one at the top, which I haven't got my extensions on, but that's a .tiff, that's a TIFF file. So that's the one we actually need. 66 megabytes needs to be converted into an Mbtiles file. So now we are going to go over to the command prompt. I'm going to start up a new one because I closed it down earlier, and I'm going to go to Anaconda prompt, remember. There we go. Now, I've started it up. I'm in base. I'm not in I haven't attached to the gdal environment. So I am going to have to type, what was the words I needed to do was Conda activate gdal env, I think it was off the top of my head. We'll soon see when that works. Yep, go. That's good. Right. And I put the Hillshade converter files in my desktop file. So if I just do a quick dir so I can remember where oh, there you go. So if I cd desktop, go into there, and I'll do a dir there, and there we go. There's a Hillshade. So if I do cd into hill, there we go, and dir there. Hopefully, there we go. There's the files. So from here now, I should be able to type Python, then Hillshade underscore converter .py, and with a bit of luck and a following wind, that's a good thing. I haven't got the pillow library in there, so I now need to do install pillow. So we shall do that now. I forgot to do that. So I now need to type in conda install pillow. It's a library that the Python needs to be to run this, so it's now going to just, shouldn't take too long. And I'll type in yes, I'm going to proceed. You only have to do this once. This just goes into your Python environment. Once it's done, there we go. It's installed. Now if we up arrow, we go to type Python Hillshade Converter again. What we should hopefully see is it will run this script and we will see the window. There we go. We've got the Mbtiles application running. So that's fairly easy, wasn't it? Although I'm thinking you're probably not thinking that one. So the next thing I'm going to do is go and pick up those TIFF files. So if I click on the browse button up there to get my input TIFF file, can't remember where we got it from. Where was it? Did it go? Where did we download it to? Let's just check where it went to. Open folder. Which folder did it put it into? Oh, I put it into my downloads. Yeah, put it into downloads. So I should have been able to see it. Let's go back to the Python. GeoTIFF files, all files. There we go. So, oops, I've got to unzip it first. I don't want to do that. So we will just go back to there and we will do an extract all. On the Mac, double clicking on that will automatically do all that, which you didn't do here. So hopefully I've now got the folder here. So that's what I now need to do. So I'll go browse in there, double click in there. There we go. That's the file I want to pick up. So if I open that up. Now on the Mac, it will complain if I output to the download folder, but I don't think Windows is as bothered. What we're now going to do is I'm going to adjust the Z factor. Well, actually, no, I'll just run it the way it is at the moment like that. So if I do generate preview, the app will generate up in a minute. There we go. And you can see the LIDAR. It's probably what you're used to seeing on the internet. It's not that stunning. And you can see still just a camp there, which is brilliant. Let's just try changing a few things. So if we change the Z factor, the vertical exaggeration, and I'm going to up that to about 8, which is where I like to have it. I'm not going to bother with the light direction, but you can change the angle the sun is hitting. You can change the altitude it's coming in at. And you can also change the minimum zoom level and the maximum zoom level tiles. If you remember what I said on the putting the National Library of Scotland's maps in, the tile levels give you the sort of the resolution. But this is fine as it is. So let's just generate that preview again. And we'll replace it. And there we go. Oh, that looks so much better, doesn't it? Now you can play around with your Z factor exaggeration to suit yourselves, but that certainly gives you a lot more information, and it's just a stunning image, isn't it? I think. But there we go. That's the image. That's the TIFF. The image. There is actually on when I upload it. The copy of the code will have the ability to save that as a PNG file. But what we're going to do now is just convert it to we'll click on that, and that will generate the. There we go. It's going. It's going to generate the Mbtiles file. And there we go, it's completed it and created the Mbtiles file, and that is actually in downloads as well. So if we just whiz over to the File Explorer and see how big that is, bearing in mind we put in a downloads, and hopefully I will see, and I can't see for some reason, is it in there? Oh, there it is. It's gone in that folder there. There we go. That's the Mbtiles file, 27 megabytes, a bit smaller than the TIFF file. You notice that was 67 megabytes. That'll be good enough. If you now put that onto your OneDrive or your G Drive folder in the cloud, and then point your mobile phone at it, at that same G Drive, you will then be able to click on the plus icon in the application and load the this file into the application, and then see it on the application, and we'll show you how that later. Okay, so we've installed Miniconda, we've installed Python, we've downloaded and installed the Python script for Hillshade Converter, shown you how to set up the environment, so you're almost ready to go. Well, you are ready to go. However, you probably are thinking this is a little bit of a pain in the rear ends to have to do every time you want to launch Hillshade. So what you can do is create yourself a little batch file. Just go to open up Notepad, and if you type that into the Notepad, this bit here, CD change directory, you need to change that bit to be wherever you put the Hillshade Converter Python script. So it changes directory into that one, and then you type the Python Hillshade Converter PRY command there. And if you save that as a go to see file save as. Let's put it on the desktop. Make it easy for me, right? I'm going to change it to hillshade.bat. Oops, hang on, hillshade.bat, and I will save that now. And that will now appear. There we go. That's it on my desktop there. So, with a bit of luck, if I double click on that file, it will now launch up a little window, and there you go. It went straight ahead and launched the Hillshade Converter. So that's all you need to do, is to have a running version of Hillshade on your Windows machine. Macintosh, that last bit, you'll need to make a shell script for that, but the principle is the same. This is probably the easiest way to get it running. Doesn't need to build executables or anything like that. It is possible to build this in Python, and the PyInstaller files are there. I've not tested them recently. To build an executable to run on your machine. The reason why we can't do it is because of, it needs to be signed and distributed and things like that. But if you build it on your local machine, it doesn't have that problems. But to be fair, I think running it like this is fine. Okay, I hope that's been helpful and hopefully not too confusing.